Do I really need to say anything else? What's up, Defects? Matt Forge here. I'm about to tell you the story about how I got this FF1 1.8 for less than $1,000. My holy grail, okay? But before we get into it, 2 bits of housekeeping. First, if you can hit that thumbs up, really appreciate it. Really helps the channel. It shows us that we're on the right track. We're giving you guys what you want. Put some comments in the comment section. Let us know what you want. Let us know if we can do something different. Sub up to the channel if you like what we're doing. If you guys are watching this and you're not a subscriber. And if you are going to subscribe, you might as well hit that notification bell because it lets you know when we're going to put content out, when we're going to go live, because it comes at all different times. You know, we have a little bit of a schedule, but once in a while we do things spontaneously. So you always want to make sure you hit that notification bell. And secondly, Mutant Beaver Comics, guys. You already know. Canada's #1 store for exclusive variants and hot comics. They're an authorized CGC and CBCS dealer. In addition to the exclusive variants, they offered signed books, graded books, full line of comic supplies, and they even have a monthly pull list service for those of you who don't have an LCS available to you or you're looking for a new one. Guys, make sure you use code DEFECTS10 for a 10% discount off your entire order. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about this bad boy right here, right? FF1. In my eyes and a lot of people's eyes, the most important comic to Marvel's current success, to what Marvel Comics is today. Marvel Comics might not even be around if it wasn't for this book, okay? This book, in my eyes, saved Marvel Comics, and I think is more important than AF-15. Some people would argue it's AF-15. I believe it's FF1, the first appearance of the Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel, okay, guys? This is my holy grail. If you've watched the channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of the Fantastic Four. And my goal was to get a complete run of like 2 to like 30. And then, you know, after that, maybe 30 to 60, you know, fill in all the keys. I never thought I'd have a chance at #1. It was just out of my price range, right? You have to draw a line for yourselves as a collector. It's an expensive hobby. But what do? We have to find a way to make that hobby pay for itself, guys, right? We hear this all the time. Everybody says it. You hear it on everybody's video. But what does that really mean? Well, I'm going to give you an example of what it means. So how did this journey start? Because that's really what it was. It was a journey, okay? Back in July of 2019, I decided I was going to buy a copy of Ultimate Fallout 4, the 1 in 25 variant, the Jurjevic, I hope I'm saying that right, in a 9.8. It was a CBCS 9.8. You guys know I usually stick to CGC, but it was a CBCS. It looked good. I was thinking maybe I could crack it out and get a CGC 9.8. But I said to myself, this book is not done. We know what's going to happen with Miles. So why not bite the bullet? Yeah, it was a pretty penny. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I'm not going to talk too much about prices. I'm sure if you are smart enough, you could probably piece together based on the timeline how much I paid for things. So I'll let you guys go and do your own detective work. But yeah, I bought that in a 9.8 off of eBay. It was a decent price. You know, I got a decent. It was below GPA, which you guys know I like to do when possible. I'm sure so does everybody, right? But I bought that book and I held on to it for a while, and I knew at some point I was going to offload it. It wasn't something that I was going to keep long term. You know, I'm a fan of Miles, but I'm not. It's not somebody that I'm overly a fan of, like FF, right? That's one of my #1 collections right there is my FF collection. So it was more of an investment book for me, okay? And I knew it would help me pay for other books in the future. Fast forward to 2020, and we know what happened with Miles. He exploded. It just went crazy. I mean, I saw that happening, just not as soon as it did. I thought that's what would happen when he hit the live action movie, not when there was just a rumor about it and a video game. And I don't think anybody could have predicted the way that book exploded in 2020. I'm in a couple group chats. One of the group chats that I'm in on IG, great bunch of guys. I'm not going to shout any names out here because I don't know if they want people to know. But I've said it before on the live shows, and I'll just keep it out of this video. So one of the guys jumps in, and they knew that I was going after an FF1. You know, they kind of said, "Have you seen the latest couple sales of a 9.8 of the Ultimate 4L4 and the 1 in 25?" And I said, "Yeah, it's crazy. You know how much it's going for." This was probably around, I want to say, August of this year, and of 2020. And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Why don't you get rid of that book and, you know, use the money to buy that FF1?" You know, and at first I was just like, "God, you're nuts." You know, like, this isn't done. You know, the first appearance of Miles, that has the Ultimate Fallout 4. It's got more legs on it. You know, now when, we don't know, right? When will he hit the big screen in a live action? We have no idea. It could be a year from now. It could be 5 years from now. But obviously, I think that book is probably still has potential more to grow beyond what it did in 2020. But a couple of guys started chiming in and said, "Hey, but if you want that FF book, that FF1, why not buy that? That's gonna go up too. That's got legs, right? Obviously, you know, we know the Fantastic Four is coming to the MCU, and that's a book you really want. That's a book you want to hold on to." So I thought about it a little bit. I sat on it for a little bit, a day or 2 days. Spoke to the butcher about it. Spoke to Guy Forge about it. And I said, "You know what? I think this is the right move. I mean, that was a big thing to like get rid of this huge first appearance of Miles Morales, and then take that money and purchase my Grail. Like, it took me a while to compute. Okay, so I bought this Miles book in 2019, and 1 year later, just about 13 months later, I'm flipping it. And you guys, like I said, I'm not going to talk about prices, but you know what it was in 2019 versus what it was in 2020, especially that 1 in 25. So I said, all right. I listed it with a seller on IG, you know, one of the better known brokers on IG. And Jay said, "I guarantee you 24 hours that book is gone." Now remember, it was CBCS, so I priced it out a little bit higher than what I thought I would get. And I think it was 36 hours later, it was gone. Okay. And now I'll show you the video of right after the sale of that right after the sale of that book. Guys, it's your boy Matt Forge, Pressable Defects. I'm holding this book because I just sold it. Yes, pulled the trigger. I am pretty excited because the sale of this book means the purchase of another book. I will be hunting down FF1. Okay, so that will take the place of this up on the mantle. But for now, got to get this bad boy packed up. I'm still kind of shocked. I'm still shell-shocked. I've never sold something this big. Wow, guys. And I'm really excited about the possibility, and just it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when that FF1 is going to be in my hands. So, all right, guys, the next video you'll see, it'll probably be me unboxing an FF1. So the next step was, after shipping it out, obviously, was to start hunting down the perfect copy of FF1. That was a challenge. I'm not going to lie. Prices for books like this, GPA goes out the window because there's only so many of these rare books, whether it's FF1, whether it's an AF-15, whether it's Spider-Man 1, FF2. There's only so many of them on the market at a time. The seller dictates the market with Grails. They really do. You know, obviously it's within a certain range, don't get me wrong, but GPA goes out the window. There's usually not GPA on these books. So it was a challenge. I had a grade range in my mind where I wanted to be and an amount of money that I wanted to spend. So originally I started looking at 2.0s. Then I started looking at 1.5s. I was looking at a 2.5 for about 2 minutes and realized that was way too much, way more than I wanted to spend. And then I started seeing some 1.8s out there, and that elusive 1.8, which I think is just cool because you don't see that many of them. I wanted the front to be really nice. You know, there was ones that I found with the F missing, you know, with the C missing, with kind of spidering across the cover. I finally came across this one on eBay. I knew the seller. I contacted him separately, and we were able to to make it a private sale. We went back and forth for a little while. It took a few weeks before, I was really firm on my price and he was really firm on his. And we met somewhere in the middle. I probably got a little bit of the better of him. He came closer to me than I went to him. So guys, I wanted to buy this book and I wanted to try to maximize my dollar, right? I didn't want to pay fees or shipping or tax, and I wanted to make sure it was, I wasn't getting scammed. So I did my homework on the guy I was buying it from. I asked the boys, the rest of the Pressable Defects guys, you got to take a ride with me. We're driving down to Queens, New York, and we gotta pick up a big book, and I got a big pile of money in my pocket. So, here's some video from that. We almost just got killed.
Yeah, this fucking dickhead.
Fucking on the way. We are around the corner, about to secure that FF1.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Whew.
This has been a process. Finally. Make it right.
Make it right.
Yep.
This is shady parts right here. We got a car right here, almost on Cineblocks, getting ready to get the rims taken off it. Wow. We got this guy digging up his ass right here.
We are down in Astoria, Queens. I found the guy, pull right up right here.
Right here?
Yeah, behind that white truck. I got to turn off because he don't want to be on camera. We'll be right back.
All right, guys. So Matt just went inside to make this deal. Some shady warehouse. Hopefully he comes out. Otherwise, me and Guy have to go in. We'll catch you soon. There he is right there. Money in hand. Let's get this done. Matt's talking to him. This guy's counting the cash. Get him, Matty. Comic book in hand.
Got something in his hand.
Oh, shit.
So you could tell that was a big moment, not only for me, but all the Pressable Defects for Guy and Jay. We did it together. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. It was so much fun. We had such a fun day. Getting this book in hand was like, I still couldn't believe it. There's funny pictures that Jay took of me like cheesing that I'm not going to show you guys because they're kind of embarrassing. But it just was unbelievable. Like even after I got home, I just still couldn't believe that my Grail, a book that I never thought that I'd be able to acquire, was sitting in my house and is now sitting next to me in this beautiful slab stand, right? Shout out slab stands. Oh my God, I almost dropped this book. Okay. What else can I say? But I really wanted to make this video because it's a really good example of how to make the hobby pay for itself. Okay. Sometimes you got to take a chance. Sometimes you got to take a little bit of a risk. But like I said, I bought a book as an investment. I spent a decent amount of money on it. And then 1 year later, I was able to sell that book and then acquire this Grail, this Silver Age Grail, I'll say, right? Not a modern Grail, not the Miles. This Silver Age Grail and my personal Grail for less than $1,000 of my own cash, my own money, okay? So again, not going to give you prices beyond that. You guys can do the math yourselves and figure it out if you'd like. But those are the things you got to do, guys. Grails aren't out of your reach, okay? Everyone's got their own personal Grail. It may be $500, it may be $5,000, right? Use your head, okay? Invest, listen to channels like Pressable Defects. Listen to channels, the friends of the show. I'll plug them. They're in the description, guys. Listen to other channels, Get information, gather it, collect it, figure it out on your own. You don't always have to listen to every word that every person says, but piece it together, right? Take what one channel says and layer it on top of another channel and another blog post that you read on the website. Put it all together and start doing your own homework. Figure out what's the next book that could start moving, okay? Start, investing in even lower dollar books that maybe you bought it for $5 and you sold it for $200. You do a couple of those, you're well on your way to buying a nice book. So use your head, make the hobby pay for itself. Get yourself an FF1 if you can, all right? I'm not going to lie. It's better to be lucky than good. And on this one, I definitely got lucky. It was a lot of timing. I guess I'll give myself a little bit of credit in buying Miles when I did. But I'm just overly, I'm sure you could tell, I'm cheesing now. I'm overly ecstatic to have this in the collection, guys. So before we get out of here, I always ask you guys, and Jay asks you, and Guy asks you, please hit the thumbs up, throw a comment in, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you please hit that notification bell, guys. we have some big things coming on this channel. All right. We just recently, I'm sure if you watched our last live show, we announced a little partnership we have with CBSI, comicbookinvest.com, that we have coming up. Don't want to give out too many details right now, but it's big, guys. We're going to be doing some stuff with them, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing, we're really excited about it. So I was about to just blurt it out right now, but we're waiting. You'll see the rest of the detail on the next live show. Thanks for watching. For the Comic Forge, for the Butcher 105, I'm Matt Forge. Pressable Defects. Catch you on the next one.